Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this week's edition of Houston County News. And I'm messenger reporter Greg Ritchie. Houston County News Podcast, folks. That's a podcast dedicated to Houston County News. Okay, the name does a lot of the heavy lifting on that one. We've got a fun show for you this week. We're going to talk about the Houston County Fair. We're going to meet some more of our great ambassadors this week. We're also going to check in with Clayton Smith, who's at the Civic Center and the Ag Arena right now, working on getting everything set up for all the great events we've got going on. Also, we're going to try and check in with Miss Kendall Hickson, our co-host, who is out this weekend. There's a big event going on for Madeline Crawford. If you're not familiar, she was the young lady killed a couple of years ago in a love lady in a three-wheeler accident. Very sweet girl. I had the opportunity to interview her a couple times, and I've spoken with her mother since then, and just a tragic situation that thankfully has been turned into such a great inspiration and a motivator, and it's really brought a lot of people closer to God, to be honest with you. And it's one of those silver linings that came out of a really dark moment for this county, and we're hoping to be able to check in with Kendall this morning on some of that. That and a lot more is coming up. Stick with us. We're going to talk about possible scandal in our local city elections here in Crockett. We're going to start right after this.
Camp Street Blues. Come join the celebration April 24th and 25th. Friday night, Texas Flood pays tribute to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Saturday morning, it's the Car Truck Show and Shine and the Blues and Bones Dog Parade at 11. Come hear Crockett's own Mustang Red, the Misty Blues Band, blues guitarist Sue Foley, and headlining the fabulous Thunderbirds. Get your tickets now. Funded in part by the Houston County Hotel Occupancy Tax and Texas Commission on the Arts.
Well, it looks like we are going to be able to check in with Miss Kendall Hickson. Kendall, good morning. Tell us what's going on out there at the Madeline Crawford benefit event.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kendall Hickson, tuning in for this week's podcast. I'm here at the second annual Memorial Team Roping for Madeline Crawford, and I wanted to show you all a few things that's going on around here.
Houston County, Texas is a lot of things. It's our amazing cities and towns, Davy Crockett National Forest, and our fields and streams. It's cattle and lumber, manufacturing and tech support. It's national brands and mom and pops. It's our churches and it's our schools. For many of us, Houston County is home. Come visit us and see for yourself what makes this place special. Houston County, first in Texas history, first in our heart. Well, folks, we want to thank Darling Ingredients for sponsoring this part of the show. And as we did last week, let's meet a few of our great local Houston County Youth Fair and Livestock Show ambassadors.
My name is Landry Beaver. I'm a homeschooled junior in high school. I've been showing sheep since I was 6 years old, and I started showing rabbits my first year of high school. I show sheep and rabbits at our county fair and my sheep all around the state. I've been a Houston County Fair Ambassador for 4 years now, and I'm also a Texas State Livestock Ambassador, which I've been for 4 years also. Through that program, I've traveled to Canada and Japan to learn more about agriculture.
Well, tell me about what you've learned being an ambassador and kind of what your favorite part has been.
I've learned a lot being an ambassador. I've learned a lot about teamwork and how to work with other kids my age. I've learned leadership and how to take command of a room if it's needed. And I've really just learned a lot about how to share my love for agriculture and how to advocate for something that I love.
Last question, plans after high school?
After high school, I plan to attend Texas A&M and study animal science, kind of following in my sister's footsteps. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that, whether I want to go to vet school or study research. I haven't exactly decided yet, but I'll know that by next year.
My name is Jillian Salmon, and I am a junior at Slocum High School. I play basketball, and then I'm pretty involved in FFA. I'm actually the president of our FFA chapter, and then I'm a 4-H officer for Homestead 4-H, and I show lambs and goats, and I really enjoy it. So.
Oh, we just got to visit you at Slocum after the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you've learned being an ambassador, what you enjoy about it.
I really enjoy being an ambassador. Like, I just love the social aspect and being able to, like, serve in our county and advocate for advocate for agriculture. And I really enjoy being able to, like, get involved with, like, the younger kids in our county and stuff, and learning how to be a leader, and, like, I've really, really improved on my public speaking too.
Now, I had a lot of nice comments when I asked you this question out at Slocum, when I said, what are your plans after high school? And I think you said, just be a mom, which is such a wonderful dream, but just in case you need some education before then.
So I'm going to graduate high school with 42 hours of dual credit, and I want to go ahead and get my 18 hours to lock in my associate's degree, and then I'm planning to go to esthetician school out in Lufkin, and then use that and start my own spa.
My name is Bayleigh Baham. I go to school at Grapeland High School. I'm a freshman. This year I'm showing chickens and pigs. I've been showing, this is my first year showing chickens, but I've been showing pigs for 2 years now. I do color guard at my school. I'm an FFA, and this is my first year as an officer.
Well, how did you get started in being an ambassador, and what's been kind of your favorite part about it?
Well, I saw them last year when I was at show, just watching them do everything and organize and getting to spend time with the buddies. And I really like spending time with kids, and I thought, maybe that's a good opportunity to get me more involved in Houston County Fair. And so I thought that I would try out because some of my friends were also trying out for it. And then I was, very surprised when I got in. And I would have to say my favorite part about being an ambassador is all the people we meet. I've had so many that I did not think I would ever be able to have.
Well, you're pretty busy for a freshman, I have to say. But have you given any thought yet to what you want to do a few years from now after high school?
I would say after high school, I either want to go into ag communications or be an ag teacher.
My name is Caleigh Lovett, and I'm from Grapeland High School. I'm a sophomore, and I've been enrolled in FFA, and I've been showing pigs at the Houston County Fair for almost 8 years now.
Wow, what got you involved in being an ambassador, and what's been kind of your favorite part?
Well, I've been influenced by a few ambassadors because it seems so fun, so I was like, maybe I want to try that. So I tried out, and I didn't make it, but I tried it again, and here I am.
So this is your first year as an ambassador?
Yes, sir.
Well, how's it been so far, your first year? What's been something that you've enjoyed?
It's been a learning experience. I've liked getting to know so many new people and just experiencing overall like so much more in the agriculture program.
Sophomore, that's not an easy year sometimes. How's school, grades, extracurricular stuff, how's all that going?
I think it's going well. I mean, school's going to get a little rough at some points, but I'm doing pretty well right now.
Any plans for when you finish high school? What do you want to be someday?
I want to do cosmetology and hopefully have my own business.
Well, my name is Cooper LeBlanc. I'm 17 years old and I'm a junior at Grapeland High School. This is my second year as a Houston County Fair ambassador, and I've been showing at the fair since I was in the 7th grade. I'm very involved in the FFA, the Grapeland FFA, where I'm currently serving as the secretary, and I'm also serving as the Sam Houston District 3rd Vice President. That's a little bit about me.
Well, tell me about what keeps you coming back to doing this role as an ambassador. What's been kind of your favorite part?
My favorite part is getting to see the fellowship between the people from all over Houston County. You see, we're the oldest county in Texas, meaning that we have a lot of history. And when we all come together at the fair, it's like a big celebration where we all get to celebrate it and fellowship as a county as a whole.
Now, they always say the junior year is the toughest year of high school. First of all, is that true? And second of all, have you thought about what you're going to do after you finish high school?
So for me, I would say junior year's been pretty easy. I finished a lot of my prerequisite classes before I got to my junior year. So I only really have ag classes, and then I have Spanish and dual credit, which it's not that big of a load. But after I graduate high school, I plan on attending Sam Houston down in Huntsville, majoring in ag education with hopes of becoming an ag teacher.
So my name is Emelie Arvizu. I'm from Crockett. And a little bit that I do is I'm really involved in sports. I've been playing soccer since I was young. So now I play for the high school team, and I love my teammates. And
amazing season this year.
Yes, we made it to playoffs this year, and it was a very exciting moment. Fortunately, we didn't make it to second round, but it's okay. We have a lot to improve on, and hopefully next year we'll go back. I'm also in cross country. I've been doing it since junior high year. I'm also an FFA. I'm an FFA officer. I'm the Crockett FFA vice president. I'm involved in a lot of community service. I think that's pretty much it about me.
That's a lot. That's good. How did you get started being a fair ambassador, and what's been kind of your favorite parts?
How I got started was really, I had to do a lot with my brother, actually. Ryan got me to see how much fun he has with helping others. And it really caught my attention because I was always that shy girl, and seeing how he made so many new friends, had the opportunity to help the younger generation, it got my attention that I wanted to be that person as well. So I thank my brother a lot, because if it wasn't for him doing the same thing, like, I don't think I would be doing the same thing, but like...
What have you enjoyed most, would you say, about now that you're doing this ambassador thing?
What I've enjoyed the most is probably getting the opportunity to meet the other ambassadors as well, getting to bond with them and coming together to plan out these days. And I'm just excited to put all our work together and teach these younger generations about agriculture and hopefully see them in our shoes one day.
Well, last question. You're in what grade?
I'm in 11th,
11th
so junior.
Grade, so junior. I can always tell the kids that have been in FFA a while because they always speak so well, so articulate. Tough year of high school, they tell me, junior year. I don't know if that's true or not, but okay, you'll tell me in a second. And then what are your plans sort of after high school?
Junior year for me is definitely not the hardest. And I've heard that junior year is one of the hardest years, but for me it's been easy. Mostly because the teachers are very easy to understand and the work they show is pretty easy. And my plans after high school is to go to Texas A&M to study animal science. Not sure where to go yet, whether veterinary or embryology, but definitely going into animal science.
At Darling Ingredients, we're more than a company. We're a driving force in transforming materials that others often view as waste into valuable products that feed animals, fertilize crops to fuel trucks and planes, and nourish people across the globe. From sustainable solutions that reduce food waste to innovative materials that shape industries, our work makes a meaningful impact in supporting daily life and demonstrates that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand. From right here in Houston County to more than 15 countries around the world, Darling Ingredients, exactly as nature intended.
For those of you who saw last week's show, we guessed Tennessee, but it turns out, in fact, we got that wrong. Peyton Pierce, let's do a little sports. Tell us where you really were.
And now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show.
Houston County Sports!
Good morning, and thank you, Greg. Oh, and Greg, by the way, I was in Florida. Yeah. Oh, and good morning with your Houston County News Sports Update. I'm Peyton Pierce. Warmer weather and greener grass means spring has come to East Texas, and with it, baseball and softball. The Crockett Lady Bulldogs have had a tough few games, working to find their rhythm. They lost to Cold Spring Oakhurst 15-0 and then took a close defensive game loss, 1-0 against New Waverly. The Lady Bulldogs took on New Waverly again Friday night. The Grapeland Sandies won 10-2 against cross-county rival Lovelady Tuesday night and faced the Latexo Tigers Friday. Latexo came into that game on a 3-game losing streak, dropping games to Lovelady, Leon, and Normandy. The Lady Tigers were set to play Leon Friday night, coming off of a loss to Lovelady 11-0 and an 11-1 loss to Slocum. The Lovelady Lions are looking to make up for lost ground this season as they will face Normandy next Tuesday. The Lady Lions came into their Friday night game against Normandy on a 4-game winning streak, beating Centerville twice, Latexo, and Grapeland. None of those teams were able to score even a single run in any of those games. And in powerlifting, several local students headed to Abilene Friday night for the state finals. And with your Houston County News Sports Update, I'm Peyton Pierce. Catch you next week.
Well, let's go out now and talk to our good friend Clayton Smith, working hard out at the Ag Center there, the Ag Arena here in Crockett, getting ready for next week's Youth Livestock Show and Fair. Let's head out there now. Well, how long does it take y'all to put this on? Basically the whole rest of the year?
Yes, so what happens is, so once we finish this year, we'll immediately start planning and working for next year. So it's kind of a never-ending process. It does slow down just a little bit, kind of administrative things with the organization as far as the closure of this year, the rules meetings where proposed rules are presented and voted on, and then election of officers. And then once all that's complete, we pretty much start planning for the next year.
So I know you had the opening sort of event last night, Saturday night, where the Queen and Princess and all that were announced. Tell us about some of the stuff next week.
So Monday we will be kind of final touches, make sure everything's in order. Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, we'll start checking in all the projects. That'll also be our pet show night. And then starting Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be all of our major shows, our replacement heifers, our steers, our hogs, goats, lambs, rabbits, stuff like that. Even the broilers will be that during that time too.
Well, you guys are sometimes probably so busy keeping everything organized. This is such a huge deal to the kids in this county. I mean, the amount of kids getting animals together and projects from the home show and the garden show is massive. It touches just about every young person in this county.
It is, and this year is a big year for us. We had over 400 exhibitors, so our numbers are way up, well over 400. Matter of fact, we were setting pins and trying to make room, and getting to the point where we're running out of room, which is a really good problem to have. And so we, want to keep pushing them and encouraging them because they get a lot out of that this organization and just being involved in stuff like this.
Well, we've interviewed most of the ambassador kids. It seems like they all love that job and love helping the younger kids. And it probably does take a small army, really, to keep everything going.
It does. The ambassadors have been amazing for this organization, and they learn a lot through that program too. But you'll see those kids all week, starting to at the concert. They'll be there helping for that. and then during Fair Week, they're everywhere. They have a day where I believe the schools bring out the younger kids, kind of a show day, and so they're very active. So they're a big help to us, and then all the other Fair Board members, the officers, and just the members in general. It's a pretty busy week for all of them. Not only are they helping put this on, but they also have kids that are showing projects. So they're wearing many hats that week.
Well, what do the kids get out of it? We'll start with them. I mean, I know what the adults, I know what I get out of it. I love seeing the animals and the home and garden show. But the fair does so much for the community. I want to make sure you're able to talk about that.
I think one of the biggest things that I see for the kids involved is it gives them a good lesson in responsibility. Because these projects just don't happen overnight. It takes months and months of preparation. Not any specific animal. I mean, all animals involved in this fair take months of preparation, financial support, and so it gives these kids a real sense of strong responsibility, and it also keeps them occupied. Not every kid plays sports. Not every kid has hobbies, but if this is something they're involved in, it keeps them busy and keeps them focused on taking care of something.
Well, and even for the kids that are interested, but maybe don't have the space or the time or the money to keep up with the bigger animals or whatever, the home and garden show seems to be bigger every year and more involved. And
yeah, so actually I think home and garden will start setting up on Monday. They'll open things up on Tuesday also. But we have a big turnout there too, from baked goods to photo opportunities, art, drawing, just a lot of opportunities for kids that maybe they're not interested in animals, or maybe they don't, like you said, they don't have the space or the financial means to raise that animal. So they can still be part of the fair by being involved in home and garden.
Well, I've always enjoyed the fair. A year or two ago, they asked me to help judge the pictures. I really stopped then, of course, and had a good look at everyone. I was shocked by some of the talent. And you read the card and it says, somebody in the 7th grade. Yep. This amazing picture. Is there any part of the fair that you enjoy most or are most surprised at every year of how it's developing or how it's growing or changing?
I tell you, lately for me, probably number one is the fact how it's growing each year. Seeing more kids become interested, getting involved, that's pretty amazing. And then every year our the cell of champions seems to grow. And that's all in part to the amazing support we have from our businesses and families out in the community. They really support these kids in this organization, and last year was a big year for us, and so we're hoping this year it's going to be even bigger. We did add the availability of online auction as well, so we'll be doing it in person and live. So for those that maybe can't make it out here, they have the ability to get online and do it there. So we're that money goes directly back to the kids. I think the fair, we get it's 3 or 5% commission. Basically, that's to help put the fair on. But these kids, they get that money back, and they can put it up for college or put it back into their next year's project.
Stealing newspapers isn't just illegal. It's immoral.
Goliath, this is 3-2 Echo. We are in sector. Gunner up scanning the thermals.
And at the Messenger, we're taking steps to fight back. Bob Smith, convicted of stealing newspapers and forced to walk the plank. Shirley Dickens, convicted of the same and forced to repeat Algebra 2. Little Timmy Robinson stole papers and was forced to eat all his vegetables. Don't steal the newspaper. Get a print or digital subscription by visiting messenger-news.com today.
Well, folks, we want to talk this week a little bit about an article in today's Messenger newspaper. Now, I wrote that story, and I want to tell you a little bit about what it means and what it's about. So I was contacted by someone that was making allegations that they had been paid to vote, that somebody had come to them and said, hey, I'll give you $15 if you go down and vote. And by the way, I'm going to tell you who to vote for if you want the money. And I said, okay. Now, folks, keep in mind, I hear all kind of rumors and gossips and allegations every day. I mean, it's almost nonstop. Phone calls, text, emails, Facebook Messenger, smoke signals. As you already have probably noticed, most of that does not go in the paper. And the simple reason is I can't verify it. A lot of it's personal, maybe driven by a family squabble or maybe some kind of personal vendetta. And I stay out of all that because, I don't pick sides on most of these things. Since this one had to do with the elections, and this person gave me a very specific name of who is behind this, I thought, okay, I'm going to look into this one a little bit further. So I reached out to a few other people, sort of in that same broad community, whatever that community is, it doesn't matter. I'm not revealing anything. And I got two more people to tell me essentially the same story. One, instead of 15, said 25. One said it wasn't a payment with money, it was a case of beer. And these things started coming together in a way that didn't feel like they were faked or staged. Now, they could have been. I'm open to that possibility. But when you have three independent people and you say, hey, have you ever heard of anything like this? And one of them even said, Greg, is this news to you? This has been going on for the last 3 or 4 years around here. Like, this isn't, And they each named the same person. Well, that begins to form a pattern. Now, it doesn't form a pattern of anything anywhere near any law enforcement issue. Certainly not near enough for me to mention some of the people's names in the newspaper. Not at all. I have no evidence to back any of this up. Let me be very clear. Other than right now, I have 3, well, at this point now, already 4 independent witnesses who allege this kind of going on. Somebody coming, offering to give them money in exchange for a vote, a ride to the polling place. We also had one person allege that people are going door to door with absentee ballots, going, hey, I'll fill this out, I'll take it in for you, you don't have to do anything. Now, all of this is immoral, and most of it's illegal. This is a big deal. And the people I've talked to have mostly been concentrated in precincts 3 and 4. Now, you say, wait a minute, which daddy Warbucks, right, is out there passing out cash at the polling places like it's, New York City in 1863 and the gangs of New York or whatever. But hang on a second. You think about precinct 3, precinct 4, 5, 1, any of our precincts. If we get a movement of even 20, a couple dozen votes, that could swing an election. This is not a big, massive thing. It takes just a narrow little switch and elections are done. Look at our latest race for county treasurer. What I think it was 3,000 votes cast. The difference was less than 50. So, these things happen. These elections can be really close. Another allegation was that some people, here's $100, just spend all day in your car, bring people to the polling place, make sure you get your family, all your neighbors, your friends, people from church, from the school, whatever. These are serious allegations. Now, are they true? I don't know. And I say that very openly in the newspaper. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm saying this is what we're being told. Now, having said that, there are suspicions among certain sources who have been involved with elections. There are some suspicions from people involved with the city of Crockett. Nobody's going to talk on the record. Why? Because there's no evidence. And that's why I decided I would put this in the paper, because I'm asking you folks out there watching this to help us. Let's not prove that this is true. Let's prove this is false. All right? Let's prove that this kind of thing doesn't go on in the city of Crockett. Let's get together, For the folks in these communities, if you've been offered this before, come forward. Come forward. If you get offered this again, make a video. Get some evidence. Give us the proof to get this stopped, because, folks, I don't care which side you're on the political spectrum. Paying for votes is not only wrong, it's highly illegal. Do not be accessory to a crime. If somebody else is filming and you take that $20 and the case of beer and go vote, and that's proven to be quid pro quo, as they say, you do this, I'll do that, you don't want to be any part of that. The other thing is we need to keep a close eye, and not just election officials who do what they can. They need more volunteers, by the way, if you've got some free time. We need to help them around these polling places and check and see if the same cars keep coming again and again with different people. That in itself means absolutely nothing, but it's evidence. It's a piece of something we can look into later and see if there are any ties. Now, before I end this, and I hope you all read that article, I'll put it up on Facebook here in a couple days. I want to say something to the people who have been accused of doing this. I'm not going to give out any of your names, but I know your names. I know who has been alleged to have been doing this. I know who you are. So I'm going to say this as gently as I can. Stop. Just stop. If this has gone on in the past, water under the bridge, please don't ever do it again. Because this time there are going to be eyes. There are going to be eyes on you. In fact, some of the people you approach with this little scheme might be people recording you. Some of the cars you organize to take people to polling places, someone may be having a look at that. You have no expectation of privacy when you're driving down the streets of the city, hauling voters back and forth. That can all be recorded and sent in to places like newspapers or even law enforcement. It's going to be different this time. And if you're doing this, you're going to get caught. So please stop. Whoever wins, black, white, red, purple, let them win. Whoever's going to lose, let them lose. Let them win or lose on what they've done or what they promised to do or the look of their face or their hairdo or whatever reason somebody might want to vote for or against anybody else. But if any of this is true to any extent and it goes on in these May elections or early voting before it, we're going to know. And we're not going to be shy about reporting what we find. So if any of these allegations are true to any extent, why don't we leave that in the past and have clean elections, and let's all get along.